audience with too much information.
Не зробіть так, щоб аудиторія знудилась через надмірну кількість інформації.
Tell great stories in many different ways.
Історії у різні способи.
And allow ordinary people to tell their stories.
Простим людям розповідати власні історії.
Ordinary people have fantastic stories to tell, and we can help NTU create many different formats to be able to get people in Ukraine to excite each other with their own stories.
Людям в Україні захоплювати одні одних власними історіями.
If NTU wants to really compete with the commercial stations, it needs to create its own original formats.
Within the resources that it has available to it.
And that's what we've been playing with today. It's giving people the tools, the skills, the awareness. How do you make your own original formats, programs, new productions within the staffing and budget limits that you have that are just as exciting as the things the commercial stations are doing. I work a lot with the BBC, which for almost 100 years, 80 years, 85 years, has been a public service broadcaster. The simple description is to entertain, educate and inform. But the slightly richer way to say that is to make sure that you're telling people stories. When you cover a subject, you cover the whole of the subject, the welcome and the unwelcome part of the subject.
I'd say another way of saying the same thing, but from a slightly different angle, is to say that propaganda is determined to tell people what to think, whereas public service broadcasting is aiming to provide all the sides of the picture, like this, you know, the faces of a prism. You know, if you have a crystal, it has lots of different little faces. So what you're doing in public service broadcasting is like turning the crystal round so that the audience can see all of these little faces of the whole of the crystal, so that they see things, they see reflections, they see moments that are unexpected, that or disturbing or frightening. But they are having to use their own minds to develop the capacity as to how to think, to understand better how to think, rather than just be told this is what to think.
We look at 5 different categories of who the audience trusts. And actually the most trusted category is people who are like the audience themselves.
For human beings generally, change feels very risky. So most often human beings choose safety and a small c conservative approach. So it's a bit like where the ground, the land, has got packed and packed down. And if you're going to get really good new growth, vigorous new growth, you have to plow this packed down earth in order to be able to get at the rich, nourishing soil that's underneath, for the new seeds to be able to really grow vigorously.
We don't give black and white answers. What we give are the creative tools.
There is no right way.
You wouldn't ask a painter, how do you paint the perfect picture? We train program makers to work as artists. And yet as scientists at the same time.
І водночас, як бути митцями та науковцями.
To use the creative brain and to use the logical brain.
Вам потрібно використовувати як творчі, так і логічні ділянки мозку водночас.
You can only make storytelling a science to a certain extent. So there are elements that you need in a great story, but choosing those, crafting those, is not an exact science.
Різні інструменти кожного з різних точок зору.
So we hope that the producers at NTU we're training will understand the theories, and then they will play creatively with them in the months to come.
Креативно працювати в подальшому.
That's why we can't, that's why there isn't, it's not that we are holding out on you and keeping secrets.
Ми не приховуємо від вас якихось таємниць.
It's because there isn't a single model that will work in every place, at every time, in every circumstance. So we can teach principles of good storytelling, but then it has to be made specific for the audiences, the purposes, in particular places at particular times.
Для відповідної аудиторії в відповідних часових рамках та в певній країні.